All right, make content. So I just got back from my little midday break. I took a nap for an hour. I was tired, and I ended up hurting myself in my last session. It was no one's fault. I guess the owner hadn't connected the pinch collar correctly, or maybe one of the links wasn't connected, and they were using it, and it came off in a busy area. And granted, I usually use a tether, but we never had that issue with this dog. But the dog was a very nervous, reacting dog, so if she had bolted, it wouldn't have been good. We were in a very busy area, a really, really busy road, like a couple hundred feet away. So the owner tried to grab her, and she slipped him. So I had to do what I had to do. I had to play Lawrence Taylor, or whatever you want to see it as, and I did it. I don't even know. I pulled some Matrix shit. The owner saw me do it. There was no other option. Sometimes when something has to happen, you go into hero mode. I mean reality. However, I got reflexes, I got a brain, I got an ability to kind of slow down time when things get hot, and I can matrix out shit, pretty good skills like that. But I'm 50. So I fucked my hip up, and I've got so many bad problems. I've got like discs bulging in my neck and lower spine, so it really kicked it out bad. I'm a little better. I took a bunch of ibuprofen and shit, but I had to take a nap and rest. So I'm a little limpy. I think I'll be okay because I felt better after the nap. But I'm so glad I caught that girl. She's fine. We got her. Actually, what happened was, because she's really struggling with reactivity, and I had a discovery because she was really freaking out around dogs, and she's having a hard time in our sessions, and we're working on it. And then when I scooped her up and was holding her, cradling her while we were getting her collar back on and all, she wasn't whining with the same dog. She was actually kind of feeling, relaxed, and it made me realize that this is a big time sensory organization struggle for her. I have sensory organization struggles with all these fucking pipes and motorcycles. It's like, I'm glad you're having fun, guys, but like, there's people in the world that like that shit rattles us. Anyway, back on track. So what I'm recommending is we're going to get a thunder shirt and just kind of add that into while we're out walking her, just something to organize, kind of squeeze her body. If anyone has ever seen or understands, knows of Temple Grandin, she's another autistic woman. She's like really, really good with animals and has written some books, Animals in Translation. It's one of my favorite books, and it really gives insight to how dogs think, animals think, not really dogs, but it's any animal. And a lot of it is sensory. And in her movie, the point is that they showed a scene. There's a movie with Claire Danes, probably 15 years ago, maybe more, and played her and showed her in college when she would have like sensory meltdowns, which I get it because I have that all the time. And she would go into this squeeze machine that they would use for cattle, and it would press the cattle, kind of hold them in place so they could brand them or whatever they do with them on the the farm. And it calmed her. It was like a warm blanket. They have weighted blankets for people like that. So the thunder shirt, the idea, the problem is that these things are marketed as they only put a thunder shirt on and your dog won't have separation anxiety. No, you've heard me talk about it. It's so complex, these issues, but it can contribute. I also recommended we start a protocol of a CBD, a high quality one, liquid form. Treats are usually a scam. Again, none of this is going to magically fix, but it could complement even a small percentage some of the work we're doing with what we have as a very difficult dog. Also some homeopathic remedies. I've talked to a vet about this. Some things that can contain, I'll just list off some that I can remember. Valerian root, kava kava, St. John's wort, tryptophan, there's a few other ones, but you can see all like a combination of some of them. There's some other, and again, anything holistic, it's not going to hurt the dog. I just don't like to medicate a dog until a lot of work has been done, and we've worked through every imaginable resource. The dog's eating properly, the dog's got the right exercise, relationship with the owner, outlets for its breed, right structure and training and all that, and then maybe we could talk meds, because rarely I don't. Or something extreme like neutering or after the fact. And I'm all for it. You do what you do with your dog, but I'm talking about the patterns I see that I don't see. Most dogs I see with aggression are not neutered. They are neutered. Most dogs I see with the issues had the medication, and it got worse as reported by the owner. Or when I tried to train them, they weren't clear-minded enough to make sense to them and get through to work through the issues. So, I guess that was my report, starting with telling you how my afternoon went, and I'm headed to my last client. I have one last puppy client tonight. But yeah, I hurt my hip trying to catch a dog who, she's such a sweet little dopey girl. She's not too old. I don't want anything bad to happen to her, so I'm so glad I caught her. I just messed up my hip. But I learned. See, it's funny how like through a horrible thing, You can learn something. I would never have been an opportunity to be cradling a 60-pound Doberman in public around dogs unless that had happened. And it made me kind of realize, and I kind of discussed with the owner and recommended getting, even when she gets maybe a little older, a backpack to help her just kind of feel sensory organized and focusing inside of her body instead of outside of her body when she's getting overstimulated. Just organizing the sensory, the sensory system when she's getting overloaded. So that was my afternoon. Next client, it is a young puppy and an older dog that we have to train the puppy and integrate with the older dog. And we'll see how that goes. And I also just posted podcast episode 121 that has been, as of recently, I do these videos and they just go and turn into podcasts. Not this one. This one's getting cut off right now. Have a good night.